Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll get started in a minute. We'll wait a few more minutes to get some people in the door. As you can see, this is going to be a virtual webinar today.
So all of the participants are on, so unless they talk.
Thank you, guys. We're going to go get started in a little bit. We are joined by some great presenters today. We have Flight, a local-based entrepreneurship support agency on financial literacy for entrepreneurs. And we got our Mastercard partners, Jimmy Chu, who is a comedian as well as an expert at digital and financial literacy. Thank you, Stephanie, for providing the breakfast for the virtual audience.
There was a breakfast? Did I miss it?
Yeah, see, didn't get the email when we said we were going to ship everybody pastries and coffee.
I'm like, no, I guess I missed that one.
Yeah. We was gonna mail everyone pastries and coffee this morning so we could all sip on coffee. My colleague Lynette had an emergency, so she's not gonna be able to join us. So you guys have to deal with me yet again today.
It's all good.
Thanks, Alexander, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I guess we can go ahead and get started and let folks trickle in. So good morning. We'll go ahead and get started for the session one. Good morning. For those who don't know me, I am Greg Lawson, and I serve as the Senior Vice President here at the New Orleans Business Alliance. I have the pleasure of working with many of the businesses online with the Resilient Corridor Initiative. So shout out to all of the RCI participants, to one of our TA provider, Darren, with My Mobile Media, who's going to be doing a session actually next week on digital presence 101. But today we have is our kickoff session. We have session one, which is actually the number one topic, financial and digital literacy. So we have three amazing speakers this morning. We have Alexander with Flight, a local-based nonprofit who's doing some amazing work with entrepreneurs of color. And then we're gonna have Jimmy Chu, who's gonna take a deep dive into the overview of all of the digital and literacy tools. And so I kick it off to you, Alexander. Kick it off to you for an introduction and overview of Flight.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Alexander Bigby. So just a quick high-level summary of Flight. So I founded Flight as a nonprofit back in 2017 with really a mission to create financial wellness-focused programs where we weren't just doing the learning, we were also helping people on that program implement the learning into their day-to-day lives. So our core program is called the Entrepreneur Empowerment Program. Right now, we work with 50 small businesses a year, predominantly owned by women of color in Metro New Orleans. Most of those are less than 3 years old with less than $100,000 in revenue. We provide 16 hours of personal and business finance learning at the early stage of the program, and it's a 12-month-long program, so we have a long time to work with people. And then after that, I work as a mentor to all 50 business owners, meeting them at least once a month to help implement some of that learning. And along the way, we also connect them with a whole bunch of free resources, including credit counseling, financial planning, marketing for their business, bookkeeping, bank accounts if they need it. Quite a few of them don't have bank accounts at the early stages. So really anything that they need during their business journey. And we work with businesses for a minimum of 12 months. So we actually have businesses can choose to roll into the next program if they'd like, which we encourage. And yeah, I mean, in terms of my background, I spent 5 years in banking. I'm born and raised in London. Moved here in 2017. I spent 5 years at Barclays, left as an associate director, always had a passion for financial learning. So I was very excited when I moved here and kind of decided to jump in and create an organization that could could meet the various challenges that it takes on. So I think that's everything.
Thank you. LaShonda's dropping. So we're gonna drop Alex's information to Flight in our chat to share with you guys. It's a great resource. I got to learn about Flight through our partnership with Propeller, and all the entrepreneurs that I talked to bragged about all the work that they're doing as an entrepreneur and a small business owner around financial empowerment on a personal and professional level. So now, thanks, Alex. So now I get the pleasure of introducing Mr. Jimmy Chu, who's the director of our community relation for Mastercard, who's going to take us into a deeper dive of our presentation today. So I turn it over to you, Jimmy.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. Rookie mistake. Yeah, after all these years, you think I actually know what I'm doing here. But anywho, like I was saying, thank you for the invite. Thank you for the introduction. I am thrilled to be here. And yes, I'm Jimmy Chow. I am the Director of Community Relations here at Mastercard. And what we do is I really focus on financial education, all right? So I have a little quick presentation I'm going to share with you all, just really focused on accepting payments and digital readiness and so forth, some of the things that are important to all of us as business owners, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Here we go. There we go. Let me know if you all see it. Okay, and I want to make this as interactive as possible. So I'm going to ask you all to sort of unmute yourselves and chime in, give me your thoughts. If you don't want to unmute yourself, put your answers in the chat because I want to sort of get everybody involved and we're going to have a good morning today, okay? So I'm pumped. I've had my coffee. I'm good to go. My lighting is off. I'm in a different location, so forgive me for all of this. So tell me, first question for the group, what is MasterCard, right? So everyone has heard of MasterCard. You probably have a couple of them in your wallet or your purse. So what do you think? Is MasterCard a credit card company? Yes or no? So go ahead, either unmute yourself or just put it in the chat. Let's see what you come up with. All right, so I have a yes. And by the way, can you all see my chat or am I blocking the screen? Because I'm just working one screen here. Or are we good?
You're good.
Okay, cool. All right, so we have one answer here, says yes. What else? Who else? What do you think? MasterCard, credit card company, or just a fabulous place where Jimmy Chow works? Oh, Alexander. Yes. Hey, there you go. So we got a lot of good answers so far. Fantastic. Okay, so yes, it is not a credit card company. That's what everybody seems to think. And that's one of the things that I always sort of start people off with, just letting them know that we are a technology company, right? So our focus is really making sure that all the transactions are simple, safe, and secure. We have the fastest processing network, and you know that as soon as you put in that card in that terminal, bing, bam, boom, things move pretty quickly, right? In nanoseconds, as we like to call it. So I always like to start off with that because, again, I'm just educating people, all right? And by educating I mean giving you all the tools. I am passionate about financial education and financial literacy because that's something that I had to learn sort of the hard way. I am a born and raised New Yorker. So yes, New York City is my home. That's where I was born, raised. That's where my parents met. I come from a mixed background. I'm a half Chinese, half Puerto Rican. It's a product of New York City. I know, fabulous. That's why when people see my name, Jimmy Chow, and then this shows up, they're like, what is this? What's happening? This doesn't match. So it's always fun just to sort of see people's reaction. But like you all, my father had a small business. He had a restaurant. He actually had several restaurants growing up. And so a lot of the stuff that he sort of taught me was to save, right? And making sure that I had my money in place and not to overspend. As a son, I sometimes didn't take those advice and then sort of pay for it the hard way. But yes, I grew up in a small business. I'm a product of small business. So I applaud you all for taking the steps to start your own business. And it's funny, I just came from a conference and we're just talking about that. And we said that whenever you have a small business, you pretty much do everything, right? There's no, oh, I don't do that. That goes for a different department. No, you are that department. So I applaud you for all your hard work. So when I say financial empowerment, what does that mean to you? So again, throw it in the chat or unmute yourself. Tell me, what does the financial empowerment mean to you? I'm gonna open my water here. Anyone? Not worrying about money. Thank you, Alexander. Is it Alexander or Alex?
I usually actually go by Big B, but you can call me Alex.
Big
Alexander
B.
too, I don't mind. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. All right. Anybody else? Means able to buy what I want, what I need. Yes. All right, thanks, Travis. Waffle bar, crazy waffle bar. Make it realistic plan and stick to it. Yes, agreed. All right, knowing my means and making realistic plans. Absolutely. So I agree with all of you. That's all what financial empowerment means. And the reason why I mentioned this is because, again, as a small business owner, you need to have your finances, your personal finances in place before you start a business, okay? Every time I work with, especially young entrepreneurs who have great ideas, and I am always sort of really encouraging them to work these things out. But the first thing I always tell them is make sure you have your own finances in order before you start your business, okay? So again, financial empowerment is just basically really understanding the capacity that you have, right? Those choices, those desires, and you have some sort of financial independence, okay? So when we're talking about personal financing, obviously credit is super important. So you want to make sure that your credit is in order, you have a good credit score, because a lot of times you're going to be relying on your own personal credit in order to take out a loan or get a credit card or things like that to grow your business. All right. And then once you start making a little money, you want to reinvest it, right? Reinvest it in your business to make it even better. And then always have some sort of financial cushion. And I can't stress that enough. During the pandemic, it was really difficult for a lot of people because they didn't have enough in savings. So either you're a business owner or the head of a household, it's really difficult for them to really sort of deal with things because everything was shut down. So not having a good financial plan or savings was very detrimental for them. So again, key components of financial empowerment. What you know about money, knowledge is power. Okay, that's all we have. What you do with your financial knowledge, all right? Factors that influence those decisions, and of course access to this, so access to your bank accounts, all right, credit card products, loans, all those things are critical, and especially critical if you're a small business owner. So how do you create and maintain financial habits for your business? So what do you think when I talk about good financial habits? What are some things that pop in your head when I say that? Savings each month. Thank you, Big B. I love that name, by the way. Track income and expenses. Boom. Yes, absolutely. QuickBooks, spreadsheets. Yes, right? The unnecessary evils of keeping track of these things. I know it's difficult, all right? I know whenever I travel, and I travel quite a bit for work, I have to do my expense reports, and I'm just like, what was that for? Where are my receipts, right? Colleen, have enough cash on hand. Thank you for that. So all those things are really critical to create those financial habits. The other thing I want to focus on is really separating your personal and business finance, okay? And I'm not sick, I think I have allergies. I think I'm allergic to Arizona. That's where I'm actually at today. Too much dust. So anyway, separating your personal business finances, right? Establishing your own business accounts, separate from your personals, right? And we're keeping records of all those things. And like we mentioned before, having good cash on hand, right? Having an emergency plan, building that financial cushion, keeping financial credits, your records, line of credits, all those things are critical for your emergency plan. Okay, so before I actually dive into digital enablement, I'm going to pause here for a second and let me know if you have any questions on anything I've covered so far. All good? Dun, dun, dun. Yes, all right. So digital presence, right? Super critical. In order to grow your business, you have to have some sort of digital presence. That's key, right? Everything sort of has changed. I'm gonna date myself. I remember, when internet first started and those dial-ups, right? It's like, woo, all that noise and all that stuff. Who knew back then how much a digital presence is important, right? So obviously, we have stats, and these stats change dramatically year over year, day over day, whatever. But again, in 2020, over 80% of consumers shop online, all right? Everyone has a smartphone now. So it's one of these things where that's what people are using to buy things, all right? So again, if you don't have a digital presence, I encourage you to start creating one. Once you're online, obviously you need to start taking electronic payments because I can't buy things with cash online. So those are kind of things that are critical, all right? So again, shopping, payments, paying bills, all those things are sort of critical when it comes to your online presence. And also think about this, as a business owner, the benefits of electronic payments. So the benefits behind it is that you're going to increase your revenue. You're going to sort of create a new sales channel for yourself, okay? And obviously, once you're online, you want to make sure that you're staying relevant, right? Making sure that you look to see what other people are doing, update your website, update your content, update your social media, so that again, you're reaching more people. So again, the value of electronic payments, I can't say this enough. Brand and marketing, customer service, all right, and financial help are all ways for your business to be impacted just by electronic payments. And we have more information here as well. And we'll share these decks with you so that you can have them. But again, when we talk about brand and marketing, it's just how people see you, right? Customer service, that's critical. I know you all know that, people will go out of their way if they don't get good customer service to tell the world, but they don't often go out of their way to tell somebody that, yeah, I got really great customer service here. So focus on those relationships and have your people sort of share what good services you're doing, okay? And of course, financial health. We always mention this because, again, a lot of times people think cash is king. So when you're talking about electronic payments, think about whether or not you want to sort of continue taking cash and so forth. I know a lot of businesses are just have always just done cash, but they don't think about some of the challenges behind it. And some of the challenges would be like, just having your money sort of disappear, not knowing where your cash is going and things like that. So, keep that in mind. That's always a little benefit behind it. Okay, so obviously, when we talk about electronic payments, I always like to mention the 3 types of cards that we have available, not only on Mastercard, but obviously other companies. But we have our prepaid cards, which are those that can be reloaded, and you find those in different banks, different stores. Debit cards are just debiting money out of your own bank account, and obviously the credit card, right? So that you get from your bank. They're the ones that are going to set the limits. They're the ones that are going to set the interest rates. So the banks are the people that do this. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing all these chats. Yes, thank you, Crazy Waffle Bar. Great practices to avoid fraudulent disputes. Yes, absolutely, right? That's another benefit of electronic payments. Thank you for that, right? I'm slacking off on the chat over here. I just want to go back to prepaid cards. I forgot to mention that when I mentioned prepaid card, these are cards that you can reload, all right? Very different from gift cards. With gift cards, once you use it up, boom, that's it. You throw it out, right? So those are kind of differences between the gift card and a prepaid card. And I always tell people, if you want to give me a gift card, by all means, I will take it. Thank you. All right. So first steps to taking electronic payments. What do you think? What are some of the first steps that we need to do in order to accept electronic payments? Or put it in your chat. I'm just going to blow my nose real quick. So what do you think? What are some of the first steps you need to do in order to accept electronic payments? Yes, speak with your bank, get a reader, set up a bank account, right? Okay, good, yes. So banks, always good to find that, understand. The other thing you need to understand is the different types of processors. And we have other organizations that we'll talk a little bit about processors. So acquiring banks would be one, right? Obviously your bank. Third-party processors, mainly for larger merchants, independent sales organizations, right? They also work with smaller business, and then internet payment providers. So those are basically for internet-based businesses. Yes, and Reina says have an EIN, Reina. Okay. Very good. So yes, absolutely. So understanding the processor, have questions, right? Understand your own business first. I always tell that to people. You got to know yourself before you actually start sharing that information. So what do you sell? To who? How? Is it face-to-face? Your volume? All those things are important to understand before you start selecting the processors. Remember, you're making that selection. They're not making it for you. So along with that, get started with your bank, talk to people, talk to your friends, associate, other business organizations like NOLA BA. Okay, there are different groups out there that you can sort of work with to get that the perfect processing partner. Also think about these questions, understand the relationship, right? What's their reputation, the fees, the tech behind it. Right. The one question I always look at this is like, can I buy or rent or lease that equipment? Right. How much does it cost? What if you want to switch processor? And then, of course, the help. If you don't have good customer service for help, then guess what? They're not really it's not going to work out for me. All right. So those are kind of things you really need to think about when you're thinking about your processor. Some additional questions here. Right, like risk assessment, point of contact, right? PCI and DSS programs. Sorry, a lot of acronyms all over the place, but they're all listed there. And again, I'll share this with you so you can have it. Again, other recommendations: look for professionalism, knowledge. Boom. Then my favorite bullet there is no used car sales routine. Right. Everyone knows that, and poor car salesmen, they always get a bad rap, but guess what? It's there for a reason. Not all of them are bad. No, I'm not hating on used car salespeople, but again, it's that pressure technique that, you're just like, ugh, and I fold like a deck of cards. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the undercarriage protection, which I don't really need. But those are the kind of things you need to sort of really look at, okay? Be aware of some of those fees, processors, hidden fees. All those things are critical when you're looking at a processor. And then, of course, get the best deal, right? Negotiate, talk to them, compare services with other organizations, right? Look at, don't pay for extra things that you don't really need. Consider timelines. So all those things are important, and so many people don't negotiate. And I think that's a missed opportunity. So we talked about getting digital. So here's what we have here through Mastercard. One of the things that we want to focus on is our Digital Doors program. And it is one of our favorite products, and we offer it free. And in there, there's a digital readiness diagnostic tool. So this is a questionnaire, or think of it as an assessment to sort of see where you are digitally, okay? And where are opportunities that you might have to make things even better. We also offer a lot of educational resources. Hey, like this workshop, boom, you're welcome, right? And then we also have partner solutions. So we work with a lot of different organizations to give you the tools that you might need. All right, so here's a couple information about this. And here's a video. I'm gonna skip it for now because I think I'm not sure in terms of timing, but Michelle Cador, she's a business owner in Brooklyn. And thanks to digital doors, she's able to really grow her business, put her stuff online, and it's an amazing story. So Michelle Cador, I just showed this video at this conference that I was at, and people were like, oh, that she's great, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, she is. She's amazing. Okay, so if you don't have a website, get one, okay? A lot of ways for you to do that. And I think some of the other workshops, we talk a little bit about your social media platform. Check out the competition, right? Look at other people's websites, get great ideas from what they have. It's not stealing if you're, if you're just sort of sharing information, right? It doesn't have to be verbatim, but get some really good ideas from other websites out there. So some really good ones out there. And then put in some reviews, videos, okay? So leverage what you see, right? And turn it into your own. And again, get digital. All right, so here is the digital diagnostics. I'm gonna just take you through what are some of the things that happen once you go into digital doors. So the assessments will sort of begin, and then you put in all your information. So your name, company, blah, blah, blah. And so all the information that you have in there. And then it's going to start asking you questions, right? Once you're done, it's going to give you this report. This is your diagnostic report, boom. So when I did this is just an example that I put together. My overall score was 54%. So I had opportunities to really look at my business digitally. So where do I need to look at? So first, I need to look at my general strategy. So the benchmark is 80%, I scored 57. Managing my business, right? Digital invoicing solutions might be an option. So I can click there to find out how can I do that? Growth and marketing. Again, more information on how I can do that as well. Accepting payments, outbound payments, and then security, all right? Cybersecurity is so critical, especially for business owners, because there are a lot of bad actors out there who are targeting small businesses because they know they may not necessarily have the infrastructure in place. Just remember, people always know that, things didn't go well. So that's why you want to make sure that you have a good cybersecurity platform. So critical. Reputation-wise, it's really bad for your business. So we have partnerships to sort of help you create something online. And then we also have all this stuff here to help grow and manage your business. So in order to grow your business, there's a lot of educational resource. And again, knowledge is power. What I always tell people is, you know what, you can sort of hate me for what I am, what I look like, and so forth, but you can't take away my education, right? So that's why it's so critical for all business owners to really learn, right? Either by talking to people, taking a workshop, or reading something. And we also have all these different partner offers that we have available on our website. So if you needed to accept payments, we do have tools in place to help you understand how to accept payments, and of course some partners that you can want to check out. I'm not endorsing any of this stuff. All I'm doing is just giving it to you. You're just sort of like taking a look, right? I'm not telling you, hey, sign up for this program. No, but I am sharing this information regarding cybersecurity. And like I said before, it's so important to really have your security in place, because so many bad people are out there and they're targeting small businesses, and you want to make sure that all those transactions are safe and secure. So really take a moment to really think about how safe is your online presence. And along with that, if you have a staff, train them so that they know how important cybersecurity is, right? Not opening up like emails that could be sort of bad, or links. People click on links all the time. So again, all those things are important, especially if you have a staff, to train them on cybersecurity. And so I will share this as well, but this is our digital doors platform. That's what's going to look. And there's Michelle, right? I feel like I know her. Oh my God. I think I might have met her once, but I don't remember. But I'm like, yeah, she's my new best friend. We also have Mastercard Biz here. Okay. So again, more information that you have. And it also has a link to our digital doors platform. So I'm going to pause here before we get into what's next to see what questions you have for me or my Mastercard team. No questions. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Dana. Where do I get access to digital? All right. So you go to our digital doors platform. It's on our Mastercard website. And this, when I share this out, has a link to it. All right. It's called mastercard.com/digital doors. You're probably seeing it on my screen as we speak. Mastercard US digital doors, boom, there it is. Okay. And again, it's really a good tool. I always like these self-assessments because again, it just gives you an opportunity to see where you are. Sorry, let me go back here. Boom, there we go. What other questions? Okay, so what's next for this group? Woo! So next steps is, boom, this one's done. Financial and digital empowerment. Hope you had a little fun. You picked a couple good nuggets up there, okay? So obviously this is complete, check. Then accounting 101. Ooh, I got a great chat. Thank you. Accounting 101 from Lendio. Fantastic group. Emergency preparedness and sustainability. Thank you, Big B. Ooh, digital presence. Okay, this is my buddy, my thing. Make sure when you see my thing, you say, "Hey, I did the workshop with Jimmy." He's gonna be very happy. He's a good friend of mine. We became friends because we do all of this stuff together. But protecting your business from cyber attacks, customer service, TBD. All right, HR and succession planning. Ooh, that's my favorite one. Yes, do we get a free Mastercard? Yes, the answer is no. Sorry, Travis. You get a virtual handshake from me. That's all I can give you. All righty, so I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna pass it over to the group. I think, Greg, right? You're taking, okay, cool.
Over. Thank you, Jimmy, for the comical presentation. I've learned a lot as a small business owner, and I will share out this too in our follow-up email next steps. And so thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Alex from Flight. We'll share out a follow-up email with the next steps. Next week, we are going to be joined, as Jimmy mentioned, we have our next session. I'll follow up in the email, same place, same time, different, I guess not the same time. Next Wednesday, 10:30. We're going to likely move these to a Zoom feature since we have a lot of people via Zoom this morning. We'll be sending out information. If you have any questions, we'll also share Jimmy's email so you can get all the jokes from Jimmy. Jim, I think you should have shared that video because I thought that video was amazing of small business, seeing a small business grow and thrive. But other than that, I want to.
If he wants to show it, yeah.
Oh, you want to show the video, Jimmy? I'm sorry.
Sure, absolutely. Let me Yeah, it's a great video. And I didn't want to show it at first because since I'm working at a hotel, sometimes the internet gets a little wonky here. You know, it's not like I'm at home, but
I'll share that. I thought it was a good video for a lot of our small business. And we'll share the slide deck as well in our follow-up email later today with the folk online.
Okay, cool. Hold on a second. Let me just see something real quick. Share. Keep talking.
All right, gotcha. So, for the next few weeks, we'll be having these weekly kind of capacity building opportunities. We have some cool incentives that you guys will get to hear about. Unfortunately, it's not a Mastercard, unless Jim is going to give us one for free.
I'll be happy to share my Mastercard bill with everybody.
Me too, man.
I just wanted to add, sorry, on my end, if anyone feels like reaching out about our program, I'll put my email again in the chat. We open up our next cohort applications in December, and we take our applications all the way through till March. So it's a pretty long window for people, and yeah, we'll be sending an email out to our kind of wider distribution group about that. So please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat now.
Yeah, and Aaron, we'll be sharing
share.
as well.
I'll make sure I share the information because what you're doing over at Flight is amazing, and I think our entrepreneurs can take some use of it. Go ahead.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
Build a successful business.
Can you hear
When
it?
COVID hit, everything changed for me.
Meet Michelle. For you.
Can you all hear it?
Yes.
Okay.
Years, Michelle has helped empower other entrepreneurs from her boutique in Brooklyn, carrying clothing lines from other Black designers alongside her own.
I see my boutique as a platform for my community. So when COVID struck, I had to pivot because the livelihoods of other artists were at stake. Mastercard Digital Doors helped my business evolve.
Mastercard Digital Doors helps local businesses pivot to digital. It starts with a questionnaire that provides custom solutions.
It felt like someone was listening and helping me write my next chapter.
Michelle received Intuit QuickBooks training, cybersecurity monitoring from Risk Recon, and Salesforce Essentials to help manage customers and inventory.
It was a digital makeover, just what I was looking for.
Months later, Michelle's company is stronger than ever, and her physical storefront is safely reopened, too.
Thanks to Mastercard Digital Doors, I'm ready to overcome anything. When my business thrives, my community thrives too.
Cool, right? I love it.
That makes doing this work so much better, Jimmy. Thank you guys again for sharing out the time. We will follow up with an email with our next steps for next week, including the Zoom link, kind of a short description of next week's presentation with the link to their bios to the speakers. Other than that, we'll give you guys some time back. The only homework assignment is to go on to that digital diagnostic and complete your assessment. Let us know how you made out, since you now have time, and then hopefully we can connect you to some Mastercard tools and partners to kind of help you along with the cybersecurity. Other than that, you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.